Top 10 inventions of all time. Necessity is the mother of invention. Nobody could deny its importance. Well, today, in this video, we're going to discuss the top 10 inventions of all time. So stay tuned till number 1 to get to know the biggest invention of all time. Number 10. The wheel. Kicking off the list at number 10, we had the invention called the wheel. You won't deny the importance of the wheel. Well, before the invention of the wheel in Thera 3500 BC, humans were severely confined in how much stuff we could transport over land and how far. The wheel itself wasn't the most of inventing the wheel. When it came to connect a non-moving platform to that rolling cylinder, things got tricky. According to David Anthony, a professor of anthropology at Hartwick College, the stroke of brilliance was the wheel and axle concept, but then making it was also difficult. For instance, the holes at the center of the wheel and the ends of the fixed axles had to be nearly perfectly round and smooth, he said. The size of the axle was also a critical factor, as was its snugness inside the hole. Not too tight, but not too loose either. Well, you can't deny the importance of this invention that changed the fortune of the entire world. Number 9. The nail. On number 9, there is a nail. It seems a little object, but you can't deny its importance. Without nails, civilization would surely crumble. The key creation dates back more than 2000 years to the ancient Roman period and became conceivable only after humans developed the ability to cast and shape metal. Previously, wood structures had to be built by interlocking adjacent boards geometrically, a much more arduous construction process. Until the era of the 1790s and early 1800s, hand-wrought nails were the norm, with a blacksmith heating a square iron rod and then hammering it onto 4 sides to create a point, according to the University of Vermont. Nail-making machines came online between the 1790s and the early 1800s. Technology for crafting nails continued to advance. After Henry Bessemer developed a process to mass-produce steel from iron, the iron nails of yesteryear slowly waned, and by 1886, 10% of the US nails were created from soft steel wire, according to the University of Vermont. By the year 1913, 90% of nails produced in the US were steel wire. Meanwhile, the screw, a stronger but harder to insert fastener, is thought to have been invented by the famous Greek scholar Archimedes in the 3rd century BC. Number 8. The compass. Let's see, what's on number 8? Have you ever heard of the compass? On the evening of September 18, 1901, a genius, Wilbur Wright, a 33-year-old businessman from Dayton, Ohio, addressed a distinguished group of Chicago engineers on the subject of some aeronautical experiments that he had conducted with his brother Orville Wright over the previous 2 years. The difficulties which obstruct the pathway to success in flying machines construction, he noted, are of 3 general classes. Mariners navigated by the stars, but that method did not work during the day or on cloudy nights, and so it was unsafe to voyage far from land. The Chinese created the first compass sometime between the 9th and 11th century. It was made of lodestone, a naturally magnetized iron ore, and the striking characteristics of which they had been studying for centuries. Pictured is a model of an ancient Chinese compass from the Han Dynasty. It is a south-indicating ladle or signon made of polished lodestone. Soon after, the knowledge passed to Europeans and Arabs through nautical contact. The compass permitted mariners to navigate safely far from land, increasing sea trade and contributing to the age of discovery. Number 7. The printing press. Here is another amazing invention for you, which is the printing press. The German Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press around 1440. Key to its development was the hand mold, a new molding method that enabled the rapid creation of large quantities of metal movable type. Though others before him, including inventors in China and Korea, had developed movable type made from metal, Gutenberg was the first to create a mechanized process that transferred the ink, which he made from linseed oil and soot, from the transferable type to paper. With this movable type process, printing presses exponentially enlarged the speed with which book copies could be made, and thus they led to the quick and widespread dissemination of knowledge for the first time in history. 20 million volumes had been printed in Western Europe by 1500. Among other things, the printing press allowed wider access to the Bible, which in turn led to alternative interpretations, including that of Martin Luther, whose 95 Theses, a paper printed by the 100,000, sparked the Protestant Reformation. Number 6. The internal combustion engine. On number 6, there is an internal combustion engine. In these engines, the combustion of fuel releases a high temperature gas, which, as it increases, applies a force to a piston, moving it. Thus, combustion engines change chemical energy into mechanical work. Decades of engineering by many scientists went into designing the internal combustion engine, which took its modern form in the latter half of the 19th century. The engine ushered in the industrial age, as well as permitting the creation of a huge variety of machines, including modern cars and aircraft. Pictured are the operating steps of a 4-stroke internal combustion engine. The strokes are as follows. Number 1. Intake stroke. Air and vaporized fuel are drawn in. Number 2. Compression stroke. Fuel vapor and air are compressed and ignited. Number 3. The power stroke. Fuel combusts and piston is pushed downwards, set in motion the machine. Number 4. The exhaust stroke. Exhaust is driven out.